What's up everybody, doing a little study break to review a knife for you guys. This is a CRKT onion skinner designed by K110. What I have weaved through this sheath here is a 4 centimeter or 1 3/4 inch belt. Here I have the product packaging. It's Böhler K110 steel. Features a camel hump blade design, glass-filled nylon handles, 3/4 tang, and a nylon lanyard as pictured on here. There's paracord. Mine came just with a long string of leather, which I've actually shortened quite a bit, about to a third, and pulled through there just for the ease of retracting the knife from the sheath. There's a pancake style leather sheath, and the nice thing here is it has a hole in case your knife is wet, and it actually shows the tip of the knife when it's in the sheath, so something like a loaded chamber indicator, but this just indicates that the blade is fully inserted into the sheath. Something else on this blade, on this packaging here, it says 3 3/4 inch blade, 95 millimeters. The handle is 3.375 inches long. Overall it's 8 inches, and the weight is apparently 105 grams with a 60 gram sheath. I weighed the knife. It actually is lighter. It comes in at 101 grams only. And that is even with this very heavy leather lanyard. So this is how it carries on the belt. It has kind of a reverse FBI cant. If you don't know what that is, an FBI cant would be if you wear a pistol holster on your right side, on your 3 o'clock, the pistol actually is facing this way. So the handle of the pistol would be like this. This is for shortening the handle in the overall profile and prevent it from printing as much. This is a reverse FBI cant, if you will. So you have the tip in a forward position if you carried right side, left side also, although you would weave the belt on the other side through. I'm wearing the belt over the sheath on my 3 o'clock. Been carrying it for quite a bit. I really like it. So let's weave this bothersome belt out of there. So this is how it originally comes. Leather sheath, pancake style. I cut off a little bit of the edges there because it was just snagging a little bit, because this hump here, this is not a real hump, this is more of a collar. It tended to snag just a little bit. So show you the knife just a little bit more. K110 design on the left side of the blade. On the right side it says CRKT. The flats are polished, and it's a vertical lined brushed satin here on this blade grind. It's a flat grind, very thin grind, has a 3 millimeter blade stock, nice swedge up top. Just a beautiful knife. It also came in a limited edition run with micarta handles. Now I just see my blade is a little bit dirty, it's from use. It came with a micarta handle, as I just said, and it had a mosaic pin here. Very beautiful. Not as grippy as this one though, this FRN. Twin molded from both sides. There's a line here, you can detect it. And this looks rather unconventional, this blade handle pattern, knife handle pattern. but it's not rubbery. It's hard, but it's not hard plastic like it would be on, let's say, just a cheap buck knife, like one of the BHWs or BLWs. This is grippy, doesn't snag on clothing, yet it provides some traction. It does not allow for a ton of variety grips, just because it's so ergonomically formed. I usually do not look for this in knives, but this one just feels perfect. You get a perfect grip. You cannot grip this knife wrong. You cannot falsely hold this knife. No matter what you do, your fingers and your hand move into the right position the way it is designed by Ken Onion. It doesn't say anything of the blade steel on the blade itself, just says K700X KXP. That's probably just a model number. This is the leather lanyard, just a squared off piece of leather, nice quality, smells like real leather, and a 3/4 inch blade, weighs 101 grams overall. Let's go a little bit back to the sheath here. This sheath I had to get wet just a little bit to form it, because it was pressed flat like this and it was very hard to get the blade in and out. So I just moved it a little bit. This part here is glued, it came off just a little bit simply by putting it in and out of the sheath a lot. It provides great retention. There is absolutely no way this blade will come out. Absolutely no way. You can see it's molded to the form of the knife, to this collar here. Very nice retention, and I definitely like this knife. I just don't want to cut the sheath here. You can see the tip here. There it is. One line of stitching, black dyed sheath. Just a very nice sheath. Overall flat profile, it rides quite high on your belt, so it conceals extremely well. This is definitely a concealed carry knife. And for easy extraction, this leather lanyard. You can choke up on it like this, and this blade design is, I think, for this grip, that you have the equal amount of blade all over, just without moving your thumb too much into the blade or having to get it out of the way to cut something, to skin something. This front belly here, no, not front, it's on the base of the blade. This base belly is just a wonderful design. So much belly. It's rather flat here, but it has 100% belly. It's flat up top, does a nice drop, pointy tip. Just a beautiful knife. I don't think the light will do it justice. Just super clean satin finish. And it's much lighter than I would have expected. I have some other knives here on the table, some very popular knives. This right here is a Kershaw Antelope Hunter. This one is much heavier just in comparison. It's not a lot heavier in hand because you have such a fantastic molded to your hand grip, but this rubber material feels heavier by itself than this. So size comparison between those two. Basically the same size. The Antelope Hunter is just a nail longer. Get those butt to butt here. So you can see that. My lighting here is not optimal. completely different sheath. This has a fold over loop here, so it rides a lot lower on your belt in comparison. Yeah, a lot lower. Another popular knife I have here is a Buckpack Light Skinner. This is a smaller knife, but this is basically in the same size category as this Descabar, the K-Bar Stonewashed Escobar, same size as the Zula, just a different blade profile, blade steel and blade finish. So you can see the size difference between those here. So this is standard for the Zula, which many have. Comes with a Kydex or plastic molded sheath. This one comes in a nylon sheath, so other sheath designs. This is a Böhler trigger knot small. This is a David Mosher design from his trigger knot. Horrible plastic sheath, just a size comparison. This one has, I think, a 3.5-inch blade, seems a lot smaller. So let's get this one out of the way. And another buck knife I have here. This one is a small Bucklight Max. I think it would rather compare with a Bucklight Max large, but I don't have that here. And that's it for fixed blades. One of my favorite folding knives that comes in at, let me just weigh it off camera here, 133 grams. It's a 4-inch blade. So in closed position it's not even half the size, it's quite large. But the blade, the overall cutting edge of this Cold Steel Voyager large is, I think you can see, almost the same. Just almost the same size. This has a 4-inch blade, but this part here is of course unsharpened, and it has overall just over 3 3/4 inches of cutting edge. Overall size, again, butt to butt, show off the CRKT logo a little bit, about 2 fingers longer. Not too hot about CRKT knives. They have made only few models that I actually like, one of which is a gentleman's folder. I don't remember the model number, but it's the Santofonte Tribute, the small one. And I think I have a CRKT Dragon that's on my bedside, my defensive, home defense blade, if you will, my first go-to blade. Can't own a firearm here legally, so kind of have to make do. Other CRKT blades, I think I had a Duck Ritter MSK R2, the really small one. I'm just not really hot about CRKT knives. Really, guys, they only make, or hardly ever make, tip up models, so I'm not too hot about tip down carry, so fuck yourself, go fuck yourself, CRKT. I do not like tip down only carry. Please give us at least the option. I like some models, but tip down carry, it's just not doable for me. Some folding knives that I have here that are very popular. You've already seen it before. Here is a number 8 Opinel. Another one that is extremely popular since, well, almost 60 years now. Böhler K110. It's larger. And just for reference, a full-sized Victorinox Swiss Army knife. So you can see the Swiss Army knife with 4 rows of tools. is just a little bit thicker than this one. Let's do a little cutting test, shall we? Let me get some paper here, camera. I never seem to have paper. Don't have printing paper, don't have a printer. So extremely sharp, extremely nice blade design, non-detectable secondary bevel, and just a thin grind. Gets a little bit thicker towards the tip, which is good for stabbing into things. And by stabbing into things, I don't mean human beings. You could certainly use that for this purpose, and I probably will use it in that purpose if that's the only thing I have against someone who would do me harm. But this is just for piercing into packaging or cardboard, and then tip cutting. So you hear it. There is no resistance. Super clean cuts with the tip. Snag a little bit there, that's the paper. With the belly here, the extreme belly, the base. This is what you want from a knife. Be careful not to cut myself here. This is what you want from a brand new knife. This right here. This kind of cutting. Every knife should be that way. Not every knife is that way.